Hey guys, and welcome back to another album review. So we're doing a new release from this year, and this is Cher's Christmas album. It's literally just called Christmas, so it's not me even like generalizing it. That is the name. So, fun fact, in case for those who weren't aware, for as much as I adore Liza Minnelli and everything, and everyone associates me with her as like my diva of choice, and she is my number one. Cher goes back further with me than Liza does. Just saying. Just saying. Liza I didn't discover until I was an adult. Cher, on the other hand, I have loved since I was a little girl. I watched her on the Sonny and Cher show when I was about like 9 or 10 years old, when it was still on like, what was it, Nick at Night or TV Land, whichever one it was back then, and I just thought she was like the most fabulous thing I had ever seen in my life, and was like, I want to grow up to be her. She's awesome. I didn't know any of the tumultuous details of like her real life yet, but just like as an actress, as a singer, on variety shows, absolutely adored her. Collected the Barbies, everything. For me, hearing she did a Christmas album of all things, I was like, oh, she did. It was actually news to me when the Macy's Day Parade on Thanksgiving happened, and she performed at doing the one single that's getting all the radio play, DJ play a Christmas song, which is the first track on the album, so we're going to talk about that first anyway, and literally stopped me in my tracks. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like reliving the magic of Cher all over again. I feel like I am 10 years old all over again, seeing her for the first time all over. I'm just like, oh yeah, that kid's still in there. She's still in there. So anyway, yes, this first track, I have to say, it reminds me so much of her song Believe, which I absolutely adore. No, that was not even my jumping in point. I was before that. I was old enough to be before that. But anyway, it has a very similar energy to it, very similar sound to it and everything. But she found a way to make an actual Christmas, like, dance song, which no one does that. Well, I'm sure somebody probably has, and I'm just unaware of it. But I was like, oh, okay, I am here for this. And even just hearing that one song on the parade, I was like, dude, if that whole album sounds like that, I am freaking here for this. I could get behind this so fast. So I could not wait to get my hands on it. And I will say, the whole album isn't in the style of that one song. It's not. So if that's what you're looking for, you might be disappointed. It's actually a whole lot of different genres that, in my opinion, feel like they kind of span the different genres she's done in her career. So actually, I feel like it's really cool seeing how it, like, bounces from song to song stylistically. I am, like, actually really into it for that. So, yes, absolutely adore that first track. First time I heard it actually pop up on the radio on, like, Coit, or the one that does all the 24 hours a day Christmas songs from about Thanksgiving onward, although this year they started early. They started before Thanksgiving. I actually heard it on the radio. It was like, it's a big enough deal to make it on the radio. Oh my god. It's climbed enough in the charts to have outranked Mariah Carey's song. Oh yeah. So I was just like, that's my girl. That's my girl. So I am absolutely freaking here for it and living for this song. And I get it. This is, like, given the sound of it, it's one of those you either love it or you hate it kind of tracks. But I absolutely freaking love this thing. I don't think I have played any other Christmas song as heavily as I have played this one this year. Just saying. Not just from this album. I mean in general. Which is saying a lot. So, anyway, I'm gonna go through it track by track, refreshing my memory on each one, and my feelings and things that I want to say on each one, so I'm gonna, like, stop, go on this video, splice it all together into one thing, but yes, that. So, track 2 on here is called What Christmas Means to Me, and I'm not sure if it's original song or if it's a cover, to be completely honest with you. But the style of this one, we go straight from basically Believe era Cher to 60s girl group sound. I was like, oh, okay, it's like a little bit Motown-y. Like, it's actually really cool, but just the juxtaposition of going straight from, like, late 90s, early 2000s sound to 60s. I'm like, okay, all right. Again, here for it. Actually, Stevie Wonder does a duet on this towards the end of it. You don't really hear him in the earlier part, but like he comes in towards the end and that's like, oh, there's Stevie. But yeah, this one's really cool, actually. I mean, it sounds like, just describing this album, that it sounds like it's all over the place and doesn't fit, but no, it somehow works. And again, to me, it feels like kind of a description of kind of looking back at her career and the different styles she's done. So, I mean, to me, it works. I think it works great. But she sings her ass off on this song, though. So just like, ooh, especially like the little middle bit. Oh, it's so good. It's so freaking good. And no one's talking about this one. I'm like, more people need to talk about it. It's so damn good. So, third track on here is a cover of Chuck Berry's Run Run Rudolph, which, oh my god, I love this so much. No, she didn't, like, girlify it or anything. No, she didn't, like, kind of like the still rocker style and everything. Little bit 50s, little bit more modern as well, somehow at the same time, makes it all work, but oh my god, see, I always loved Run Run Rudolph as one of my favorite Christmas songs anyway. But this is quickly shooting to almost the top of the pile for my favorite version of it even, which again is saying something. So there is a lot of versions of this song that I'm familiar with that I like, but ooh, this one, it's right up there. It's right up there. It's not quite the number one position for me of any that I've ever heard, but it's pretty high up. I like it a lot, just saying. Go into this album with an open mind, because honestly, I think she's gonna surprise you. So the fourth track is a cover of Christmas Baby Please Come Home, which, I mean, everybody under the sun has done covers of that song at this point, but the special thing with this cover is that Cher got Darlene Love to duet on it. And it was her song originally. So that's really cool to me. That's just like, oh my god, I love this so much. Oh my god. So, I mean, when Cher does things, she doesn't half-ass them. She does them right. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, this is another one that's like done in a very like 60s style. Again, 60s girl group kind of. A little different than the last one. Well, not Run Run Rudolph, but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean in there. That kind of sound, which I'm just like, I really like this. I like this so dang much. Anyway. But yeah, this one, again, may surprise you just how well it works. So the next track is Angels in the Snow, which kind of like the first track, it's another one of like a kind of dance, synth pop kind of sound to it. Not over the top, but just in a way where you can groove to this, you can dance to it. It's a fun song. Admittedly, the first time I played it, I was just kind of lukewarm on it, but the more that I played the album, this one has grown on me a lot. So, even if you're a little skeptical on this one, at first listen. Give it a few more shots, and then decide how you feel, because it might be one of those that it just takes a little bit to get used to it, just because it's a new Christmas song, and I feel like it's hard to sell people on a new Christmas song unless it's something that really just knocks your socks off. Otherwise, it's like a slow burn kind of thing where just the familiarity bias kicks in, and it's like, okay, I can get behind this now that I kind of got the idea in my head. Alright, okay, I kind of feel this one, so. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on that one. So the next track on here is Home, which Cher did as a duet with Michael Bublé. And this is where I feel guilty, because on paper, I should be all over this track, because not only is it Cher, it's Cher with Michael Bublé, who I also freaking adore. So why don't I feel more strongly about this song? I think the problem for me, there's two problems. One, just the high energy of everything on this album comes to like a brick wall when it hits this song, because it's so slow and chill and mellow versus like everything else has been such a bop up till this point. So there's that working against it. But there's also the fact that this doesn't feel like a Christmas song. Now, if it were just a standalone track on its own outside of this album, I think it's a beautiful duet. It's great as a standalone song, but as part of this album, something about it feels out of place to me. And again, I feel really bad about that, because I feel like Just looking at, like, the different duets on here, this should be my favorite one! And it's not. And it's not. Not only is it not, it's the track I almost always skip. Yeah, sacrilege, I know. I've listened to it separately apart from the album, and I've enjoyed it just fine when it's played solo, not part of this album. But within the context of the album, I don't know, my brain just doesn't want to wrap around it for whatever reason. Which I suppose most albums have at least one track like that for me. It's very unfortunate that it happened to be the Michael Bublé one this time. I'm like, why? Why? I love Michael, why? But yeah. Okay, so the next track on here is called Drop Top Sleigh Ride, and it's a duet with Tyga. So, I mean, I went in already skeptical because I was like, I don't like rap at all. So I'm just like, I don't know, I'm trying to go in with an open mind as possible, but I do have my biases. But that said, most of the song is fine. It's kind of just like a little bit dance, a little bit hip hop. All right, okay. At a point where I'm like, this is fine. I could see this being like played in a club or something. Okay, kind of cool. Until it comes to the little rapping bit in the middle with Tyga, and I'm like, oh. Mentally, I'm checked out as of that part, but it's only like a very small part of the whole song that's that part. I'm sure some people love that part because of it, versus me who's over here, I'm like, if it weren't for that, it'd be a great song, but to each their own. Like, I am not here to crap on anybody else who does like that. I'm just saying my opinion, my feelings, just from what I like, don't like, I'm just giving my thoughts. So, but the rest of it, I mean, at least it's like getting back into the groove of like a higher energy album again. Like, okay, we had like a little dip in there that was like, but this one, okay, we're getting back into it now. So, okay, all right, I'm behind it, okay. So the next track on the album really surprised me, and admittedly, the first time I listened to this, I actually just put it on Spotify right before I got in the shower and had like the shower speaker going, so I didn't know the track list. So when this song came on, I almost fell over. I so wasn't expecting it. It's a cover of the Eagles' Christmas song, Please Come Home for Christmas, which some of you may remember I cringily covered years ago on this channel, and people gave me shit for singing it in a style that they compared to Liza, but I'm like, it was good enough for Cher, and it's very similar to the style I did it in, so, just saying. I foresaw the future of what this song could be. Just saying. Anyway, I'm taking no credit for Cher's song. Don't twist it. I just find it funny. But anyway, so this song, I'm actually really surprised at how good a job she did on this. I mean, as if anything else on the album would make me think otherwise. But just, if you had told me just what song it is and that Cher did a cover of it and asked me what I thought it would sound like, I think I would be pretty skeptical. Not that I don't believe in Cher, but just, I think I would be skeptical at just how mismatched that combo sounds on paper, but in reality it works really well, and apart from like the title track, might actually be my favorite track on here. So, it works really freaking well. This song is also like my mom's second favorite Christmas song, only behind Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time. Gee, I wonder where I get it from. Even she was not mad at this cover, which, if it passes her test with this, which she doesn't like most people's covers of anything, yeah, that spoke volumes to me. Right there. That's not just me being biased for really liking it. It actually is, in fact, pretty good. So the next track on here is a song called I Like Christmas, and I'm not sure, actually, if this is an original track or a cover of somebody's. I've never heard it before or heard of it. There's nobody duetting on it, so there's a pretty good chance this might actually just be an original song for this album. This one's kind of got like a bluesy kind of vibe to it, which, again, like I said, the genres are kind of bouncing all over the place, but I like it and it works for this. And especially on this song, it really, really works. I didn't expect to like this one this much, especially from like the start of it. I was kind of skeptical, but like, I think even by the end of the first verse, I was like, ooh, okay, I like this. I like this a lot, actually, so yeah, another one gets a stamp of approval from me. Okay, so the next track on here is called Christmas Ain't Christmas Without You. And this one is a fun track. So this one, it's got a little bit of the electronic side, but it's more just straight pop, in my opinion, for this one. But, oh my gosh, even just, like, the chord progressions in this song just, oh, I love it so much. Which, again, this is another one, I think on first listen, it didn't fully hit me the first time, but by the second time I was like, yes, oh my god, this track is so good. So, oh man, I know, like, seemingly just everything on here, I'm like, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, except for the Buble thing, which, if I listen to it on its own, and not as part of this album, I love it too, so, yeah, I know, I'm not very helpful here, but shush. For how often I hate on all the things that everyone else loves, you know what, it's my turn to love all the things. Alright, so the next track is a cover of Santa Baby, which, oh my gosh, I am so stupidly happy that she actually tackled that one, and she ate it. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I mean, I think this might be the first time I've heard somebody approach this song and drop the vocals instead of having them as high up as they usually are in that, like, coquettish Betty Boop kind of way, where it's all cutesy, la la la. Yeah, nah. Cher does it and makes it sexy. So, just saying. Just saying. And now I'm like, hey, maybe I could sing this song after all. Now that I've heard the key that she does it in, I'm like, oh, I can actually hit those notes. I don't know, possible cover incoming. Anyway. But yeah, love this one. This one's so good. Alright, so second to last track on here is called Put a Little Holiday in Your Heart, and I'm not sure, again, if this is a cover or not. However, it does have Cyndi Lauper on it singing with her, which is interesting. I'm not that big a fan of Cyndi Lauper's older voice, unfortunately. I liked her when she was younger, but not so much now. But that's just my opinion. But, it's a kind of country-ish song. So we have Cher and Cyndi Lauper doing a kind of country Christmas song. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. This one's a little, I'm gonna admit, this one's a little iffy. So the last track on the album is called This Will Be Our Year, and as you can surmise from the title, it's not so much a Christmas song as it's a New Year's song, but nobody does New Year's albums, so I mean, Christmas, New Year's, they kind of go hand in hand, so I'll allow it. I'll allow it. So, anyway, this one is another one that's kind of, it's alright. I like that it ends on a positive note for the album and everything, and it's not like a dirge like so many New Year's songs seem to be. So, I mean, it's catchy, it's kind of poppy, it's positive, so I honestly can't complain about it. It's just not one of the ones where I'm instantly like, oh my god, I'm so in love with this song, like some of the others. But this one I'm like, oh, I don't hate it, I don't dislike it, it's just kind of, it's middle of the road, it's alright, so. But anyway, this album was really damn solid, actually, and I was surprised that I liked as much of it as much as I did. I was telling my sister this, and she's like, honestly, Jen, I would be more surprised if you hadn't liked it. I was like, that's fair, that's fair. So, I mean, I think for me, I would personally rate this a 7.5 out of 10, pretty solidly, so, you know, no mean feat, because, I mean, holiday albums seemingly are hard to do right and to do well, and I feel like Cher, actually, for a first shot at this, she really nailed it, so, anyway, I really enjoyed it. If you love Cher, you'll love this, especially if you also love holiday music. It's pretty great, so. Anyway, that is it for this one, guys. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Get your name on the end card from the month, for a month from the time of donating. I can talk, really. Anyway, guys, till next time. See ya.